What's going on, guys? Charles Weinraub, AKA the Handsome Homebuyer, AKA Captain Permit, AKA
El Judío Maravilloso.
That's what I'm talking about. And to keep that Latin vibe going, on today's podcast, we have Manny, who won the Real Estate Protégé, Sanchez. Yeah, kid. Welcome back to another episode of the Handsome Homebuyer podcast. My name is Charles, a.k.a. the Handsome Homebuyer, a.k.a. Captain Permit, a.k.a. this is your shtick, dude. You know, Mike. Do it.
El Judío Maravilloso.
Yeah!
I get so happy when I don't have to do it.
Hobbies, I'm the Handsome Homebuyer. If you have a house that smells like cat pee, dated from the 1960s, 6 inches of mold on the wall, human waste floating past the basement steps, you know I want to buy it. Commercial development, anything that is out there, 516-777-SOLD. A lot of great stuff happening. Just got assisted living facility approved in Farmingdale. I believe we are doing a Pudgy's chicken joint as well and heavy negotiations with that. Flipping tons of houses. We want to flip more. If there's any opportunity out there, please get at us. And obviously, you know, if you have any kind of permit issues, you got to call the captain, 516-513-8838. Things are crazy in the townships. You need someone to hold your hand and guide you through the process. We got you all day, every day, from Queens all the way out to Montauk, tip to tip. Long Island is our specialty. Feel free to give us a call just to ask for advice or anything else. 516-513-8838. And speaking of advice, if you need any advice as far as investing, construction, investing, development, rentals, fix and flip, new construction, you name it. Whatever I got inside this elongated Jewish skull is yours. Hit me up on my text platform, 516-871-3511. I try to check it 1 to 2 times a day. It is me. It is not a bot, so please be patient. I get a lot of texts every day. I try to get back to everybody. Happy to share the knowledge and whatever I can do. So, with that said, we got a rock star guest today, man. Rock star guest today. And, so those of you who haven't seen it, you should check it out. The Real Estate Protégé was created by JB Balvin of Tilre Success Solutions and Bryan Karp of Coach Real Estate, which was essentially the craziest job interview of all time. JB and Bryan came up with the concept together. Both brilliant guys, super hardworking, extremely accomplished, and will continue to do amazing things in the future. Both very young and have a lot of life left in them. I'm very grateful to be friends with them, and even more grateful to have been a part of the show. So today we have the winner of the Real Estate Protégé, a man who you're also going to be seeing a tremendous amount of and is going to be extremely successful in years to come. And I'm happy that I got him on the podcast at the beginning so we can see the transformation from where it started to Lord knows where it's going to end up. Manny Sanchez.
Thank you for having me, man.
Good to be here, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Like a few months ago, I was just like watching your videos and hoping that one day I'll become an investor, and look where I am now.
The sky's the limit, man. Obviously, the sky's the limit, and you got a smooth voice. Anybody ever tell you got a smooth voice? You got like a smooth radio voice.
Really? So far I've said that, but I don't know.
I mean, everything sounds better in Spanish to begin with. Also, that I'm convinced. Like you say anything in English, you say it in Spanish. It's like doesn't matter what it is. It's like that sounds nice. So I'm trying to perfect my Spanish, obviously.
Awesome.
So let's. I want to get a little bit about your background. Give people kind of like the 60-second background of, you know, where you came from. Mm-hmm. I know you were born in El Salvador.
Yes.
About your, you know, experience there, how you came to this country, and then ultimately what you've been going through before you got on the Protégé, because the story is awesome.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in El Salvador. I came in 2013 looking for a better life, and once I came, I just like dedicated my life to work in restaurants. I didn't really know anything, like any profession or anything, you know. So my uncle, he's been working in restaurants for a while, and he got me the job there, and I just jumped, like, you know, I got it, and I just like decided to work hard, and I started as a cook, then I had another job as a dishwasher, then I knew a little bit of English, so I started talking to people.
So you didn't know English when you came here at all?
I did. As a matter of fact, like the thing is that in El Salvador, English can get you like a job where you can get double the minimum wage.
Okay.
So like when I was in El Salvador, I had to start working, right? I was 16 and I was like, what am I going to do? I started looking for jobs, and I found out that the minimum wage is like $300 a month. So I was like, man, I don't want to do that. Like, Jesus. You know, I want more than that. So I found out that big companies in the United States, they put their call center departments in countries like El Salvador, Mexico, Costa Rica. So I found out that all you need is to speak the language.
Okay.
So I remember that I had this PlayStation that I loved with all my life, and I was like, you know what? This is a business decision. I sold it, and I got to pay 2 months of like 2 courses of English, right? So I was like, I love it, this is easy, I can't be doing this all day. I started buying books like for kids, I started I had a dictionary and just translated word by word. And I spoke to my dad, and I was see, I want to do this for a living. And he was like, definitely, English is gonna open doors for you, no matter where you go, everybody speaks English, right? So he paid for the whole course, and I did it, and I got a job at one of those call centers.
Nice.
And I was getting paid $600 a month, which is double. You know, I was 18.
Yeah.
And I was making $600. I felt like I was the king of the world. I loved it. But then the country, El Salvador is a very dangerous place, right?
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. So
just really quickly so people understand, I don't think people really understand exactly what's going on in El Salvador. It is a lot of gang violence. It is a lot of political unrest. It is not a very safe place.
Yeah. Someone trying to steal your phone can just kill you for that. It's that crazy, that ridiculous stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think people living here can really, truly, psychologically understand exactly what's going on there.
Yeah, it's crazy. So my dad was why don't you come here, right? He lives in California. And I was definitely I came and I loved it. I loved the place. California was beautiful, but I had family here in New York. So I came to visit them, and I saw that the Hispanic community here in New York is big, right? So I felt like I was in El Salvador pretty much, but safer and with more opportunities. Yeah. So started working in restaurants, and I had this idea. I read a book. I like reading books. So I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
That was what got me into real estate.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I read it and I was like, man, I love it, right? And but at that time I was looking for something more consistent, right? I was I don't even know how real estate works, But then I met my wife, and we both started working in restaurants, and then she got a job as a secretary for a brokerage, right? And then she was like, babe, you know how much money agents make just for selling a house?
Yeah.
I want to get my license. So she got her license, and I'm like, definitely. She got her license. We knew that, with real estate, it's not consistent, right? So I got another job to make sure that money was coming in.
Yeah.
And she just jumped into it, and then I loved it. Yeah. I really wanted to.
And that's how you essentially found real estate.
Pretty much.
How long ago was that? How long ago did you get your license?
I just got it on January 5th.
Oh, so this all just kind of happened.
Yeah, my wife got her license last year.
Okay.
So she's been doing it for over a year now.
Okay.
I was pretty much her assistant. I was helping her with filling out paperwork. When she was on a call, I was right there trying to listen what it's all about and trying to learn as much as possible. And I just got my license right now. Yeah. But I've been working in restaurants for 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's.
No, so I want you to kind of, being a realtor, I think a lot of people, a ton of people are getting their license right now.
Yeah, I know.
Combination of reasons, if the market's hot, people get their license, or if there's a shift in the economy and people lose their job, they're like, oh, maybe I'll get my license. I don't think people realize how difficult it is to be a realtor. I always say 2.5%, I would say 3, let's round it up to 3%. 3% of all the agents make all the money.
Yeah.
And when you're a realtor, a lot of people think you're coming in. Most of the time you're getting this training, but you're really not. And it is a very, very difficult thing. So talk about, the struggles as you and your wife got into real estate, the challenges that you had.
Yeah. So when we got into real estate, when I had this idea that you could make money, wearing nice clothes, some suits and ties, I started as a dishwasher. I was just taking out the garbage, getting dirty, my shoes that were soaked on water and nasty. It was just nasty. Now you're telling me, and I was working pretty much 16 hours a day. I had 2 jobs, and I would work as a dishwasher. Then I would go to Applebee's at night. So now you're telling me that I can make money wearing this type of clothes with a tie and everything. Dude, I'm in. My wife and I, when we met, we work at this catering hall. And we were working crazy hours. Though sometimes we'll get out at 3 in the morning because it was all parties, right? And we have worked a lot. And now having the chance to be on this industry and make good money by working hard. Like I work hard, you know. It's just that the way I see it is that I was just on the grown profession, you know. Like now I want to put all that energy into real estate, and I know it's not easy, but after coming like from those type of jobs, like, you know, this is like a blessing for me.
No, it makes sense. And I think people like, it's all a matter of perspective, right? If you're going to give 150% of your effort, you can give that to your job working in the restaurant business, but you're going to have a certain cap just because of the nature of the business. It's like, well, I'll relate it to home building. You know, you could build one house or you could build 30 houses at a clip. Who's making more money? It's the same amount of energy, but who's going to be making more money? Or you could build 30 houses, or you could build a giant apartment building. Same amount of time, same amount of energy, right? Yeah. But the end result is different.
Exactly.
But it's all a matter of, you know, what makes you happy.
Yeah, definitely. And when my wife started doing real estate, we didn't have no training. We were pretty much like bumping from walls to walls, you know?
Yeah.
And learning from the situations that we will put ourselves into. So it was a little hard. And we got to the point where we were like, man, then maybe like 10 houses a year, it's a lot, right? And that was our goal. Last year she did 6, and we were like super happy.
That's
right?
Great.
Yeah. And but then I was like, babe, you know what? Like I feel like if we go to a different brokerage, we might see real estate from like a different perspective. You know, like if we get to work with people that are closing 50 deals a year, maybe we're gonna have a different goal, a different mentality. You know, so that was our goal, to like always like learn as much as possible and take advantage of this opportunity, though.
No, that makes sense. How do you think I have no doubt you're gonna be very successful, because you have this like fire, right? Like this hunger, and that's really what it's about.
Exactly.
So I want to talk about the Real Estate Protégé, but before I do, I remember, so I was there for a few hours in the boardroom. Yeah. And I knew that you were going to win, and I equated it. Did you ever see the movie Cinderella Story, the boxing movie?
No, I didn't get to it.
So there's a scene in the movie Cinderella Story where, you know, he's a boxer and he was a professional boxer, and then he loses and he comes back, and it's during the Great Depression, and he's really struggling with his family, and he starts winning. He becomes the champ of the world and maintained that for quite some period of time. Nice. And they said to him, you know, what's the difference between now and then? And he's like, I know what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for like survival. And when I like looked at you, I like felt, I'm like, this guy is fighting for like his life, his future, his family's future. I'm like, no one's gonna touch that guy.
Yeah.
Like he's got this thing, and there's no other competitor that can match to that. I feel like, and I tell this to my parents, listen, I work very hard, and my parents were amazing. Yeah. And I had a tremendous amount of opportunity. And I've said to my parents in the past, and they looked at me like, you're an a-hole for saying this to me, but I genuinely mean this. I'm like, you guys gave me too much.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, and Long Island's a very affluent place in the United States, especially. There's a lot of money in the United States. Getting too much, especially too early, is a handicap.
It is, yeah. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like I don't like judging people, but I've seen it. You know, like I come from a place where they don't really have much. You know, now when you don't have much, just start appreciating what you like.
Of course,
what you can accomplish, right? Like now, when I came here, and they told me like I was gonna get paid $10 an hour, I was like, that's it. Yeah, that's the American dream, baby. I made it. Right? Then I found out that I had to pay rent and taxes and all of that, right? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's not that good, right? But like I saw that there's opportunities, you know, but that's like you said, something's like you have to not have anything to start appreciating the value of life, you know, things in life.
It's perspective.
Yeah.
His perspective, like you were saying before, from going from washing dishes to being totally soaked, shoes filled up with water, to being like, yo, I can wear a suit and walk around and talk to people and sell real estate and make money. It's like you have a deeper appreciation than most people.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So talk about the Real Estate Protégé. First, how did you get on the show, and how did you find out about it? And the big thing is, I want you to explain to people that you had to take a week off of work.
Yeah.
And you have a family of people to take care of, and you basically rolled the dice for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you don't win, you're out. You're out a week's worth of money, which puts you in the hole. And but if you win, it's going to change your life.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. So like I started following Bryan Karp, like when my wife started doing real estate, right? The lender that went there and bought the shelf for the $600.
Yeah.
He gave like a little speech at the company where my wife was working. he told us a little bit about like mortgages and stuff like that. But then he mentioned Bryan Karp, right? Like, oh, I know this like real estate agent that he's just like crazy. He will like knock on doors every day. He will do this, he will do that. And we were like, oh shit, okay, that sounds nice. So one day I was knocking on doors with my wife a few days after that. And we were knocking like on doors for like over an hour. And then this dude comes off his car, puts his suit on, grabs his bag, and he just walks into the door. Like he walks to the house, gets into the door, and I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, this is our neighborhood, right? Like, this guy comes through here and just takes a house.
He was door knocking, or he had an appointment for...
he just like parked and went into the door. He didn't knock on any other doors. He just went straight to that house. And I was like, you know what? We better like knock on every single door in here until we get something. And then when we passed by his car, my wife was like, babe, like that's the guy that Epi was talking about.
Yeah.
And I remember we took a picture and everything. And then we started following him on Instagram and Facebook. So I became a huge fan, right? I was like, damn, this dude is...
How long ago was this? A year ago?
Pretty much, yeah. Like it was a few, like 10 months ago. Yeah, like a year, pretty much.
Did he see you?
He saw me, yeah. He didn't know. Like, when I told him, it was like, I thought you were like Jehovah's Witnesses or something. I'm like, okay, all right. But now we started following him on social media. And my goal was like, you know what? I'm gonna get my license, and I'm just gonna do what this dude is doing, because success is like a recipe, right? You get the ingredients, you follow the steps, and then you get the dish, right? So success is like you do what successful people do. Eventually, you're gonna get the same results. It's not easy, but if you stick to it, you're gonna get the results.
It's a process.
Exactly.
It's a process.
So I remember I went knocking on doors with my wife. I got home and I took a nap, and then she's like, she woke me up. She was like, "Babe, look at this," and I'm like looking at the phone, and it's like the advertisement for the Protégé, right?
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like listening to what they were saying. I wasn't really listening. Like in my head, I was like, there was something telling me like, Manny, that's it. That's for you. Yeah, he's not looking for a Protégé. He's looking for you. It's just that he doesn't know you. You have to be there. Wow. So I washed my face, and I made the video. I had to make like a 60-second video. Okay. I made it, and I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, did he hear me? I don't know. I'm a lot into meditation, so I really believe in like manifesting my dreams and stuff like that. And I was like, it's not this can't be a coincidence. Like, this is meant to be. Like, like I've been following this dude for so long, and like, I want to do what he does, and now he's giving like a chance to like work with him. It's mine, that opportunity is mine. So when the whole pandemic thing happened, right, I had 2 jobs. So I lost one of them, and then on the other one, I got cut hours. Like, I was working like half the amount of hours that I was working.
Yeah, because you're in restaurants.
Yeah, it was bad. But like for me, it was a big opportunity, and I was like, what do I got to lose? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, I have to be there. I have to try.
But I mean, that's a testament for who you are as a person. Because there's a lot of people that during the pandemic, they didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like, and they still aren't doing anything. Yeah. And then there's a lot of people during the pandemic that were like, I'm going to use this opportunity to elevate myself or to grow my business or to change things or just push through it or whatever it is. And those are the people that are ultimately doing really well right now.
And the thing is that, like, I knew like if I will stop working that week, I was going to be short on money, right? Yeah. But money, you can get it back. This opportunity is like once in a lifetime, So I was like, I don't care about anything.
So what happened? You got the call, and so how would the selection process go? So you sent the video in.
Yeah, and then they emailed me back.
Then you wait.
Yeah.
How long before you sent the email in did they get back to you?
I think it was like a week or probably a week. Yeah. A week or 2 weeks. I think it was a little bit more than 2 weeks.
Did you follow up, try to like...
Yeah.
Were you pushing it to get on the show, or were you just sitting there like freaking out waiting?
I was just like waiting. Like I would go to the Protégé's page on Instagram and just like wait, like to see like come on. And then my wife was like, "Oh my God, you're not gonna sleep." And I was just there, like into like, "Oh man, I can't wait." But I didn't call or anything. I just waited on like to see if they will pick me.
And then they called.
They emailed me. And I was like, "Oh, you're you're gonna participate in this," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck, yes, yes." Didn't cry. I was happy, yeah, definitely, yeah.
So obviously, JB and Bryan are good friends of mine, so I kind of knew what was coming down the pipe as far as the challenges and what was going on and how they were going to structure the day. This thing was brutal. Like, I'll let you get into it, but essentially it was 4 days of hell, of real estate hell.
It was.
So anybody who doesn't know Bryan Karp is, I mean, an unbelievable sweetheart of a man, but he's a savage in the real estate world. This guy gets up at 3:30 in the morning every day. He sends me pictures at 3:30 in the morning. It's like freaking, it's exhausting. He sends me pictures at 3:30 in the morning, gets on, rides his Peloton, works 24/7. Like, every 30 minutes of his life is totally scheduled out around his family and his work. That's it. And last year in the pandemic, he sold 185 houses. And the year before that, he sold 205 houses. Like, you know, I would say he's, I mean, in volume-wise, he's got to be like freaking top 5 in the country. Like, nobody does that. It's
crazy.
It is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
It's and he does it by himself. Like, he has assistants, but he essentially does it by himself. Yeah. So the show essentially mimicked his life. There was a number of challenges, but everybody started. You guys were there at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And just talk about the experience, what challenges they put you through, you know, how it went, etc.
So there were like a good amount of challenges, right? But the first one, the second one, well, I think it was actually the third one. The second one, the first one was about like making a team, right? And then you had to come out with like the name and all of that, right? Like, how would you like promote yourself as a team in real estate? Now the second one, we had to go to one of his listings. And it was funny, like, you know, Alex W, right? He works for him already. Yeah. But nobody knew, right, at that time. And then he came out with the idea. We had to do like a listing presentation, right, like a video. And then he was like, you know, it would be a good idea. Someone gets in the roof. And we tell him that the roof is new. And I'm like, that's crazy. And then but then I was like, you know what, Handy Manny, on the roof. That sounds like a good idea. Let me try it, right? It was bad, dude. It was like the worst idea ever, though. I really thought, like, you know what, that's it. Bye, Manny. Yeah, we don't need you anymore. But since he was like the leader of the group, right? He pretty much had to deal with the consequences of a bad idea. But then we had the third challenge, which was like pretty much like eat what you kill, right? We had to go outside and sell a bottle of shampoo. Yeah. When they told me that, I'm like, hell yeah, right? I can do that. Like, in my head, I was just thinking, like, if I've been through like working in a kitchen for so many hours and wash dishes, like, man, I can do this, definitely, you know. So we did that. I got like $5 for mine. Then there was another contestant that got like $100, and I'm like, okay, I had like my $5 in here. When I said 100, I was like, okay, never mind. Right? Like, you know, just got $5.
Wait, so they gave you, one of the challenges, they gave you a bottle of shampoo, so people understand. They sent you out onto the street, and they're like, how well can you sell? Can you sell this bottle of shampoo?
Exactly, yeah.
So what did you do? You found somebody random on the street?
Yeah, I just went to a 7-Eleven, stood there for a while, and I was just like telling them, like, you know, like, I'm trying to get a job, and you know, part of it is like, I need to prove that I can sell like this bottle of shampoo. Okay. They were like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, you know, some people were like, nah, right? But this guy was like, all right, sure, definitely, I'll buy it. So let me go buy something, right? So he bought like a pack of cigarettes. He came out, he was on the phone, he smoked like 2 cigarettes, and I was just there like, oh man, like, you know, you gonna buy it or not? But then he bought it, he was mad nice, and I think he was like in the mortgage industry too. Yeah. So he was like, yeah, definitely. So he gave me $5, right? And that was pretty much the third challenge, right? After that, what did we do?
Well, I want to stop there for a second because I want to go back to something. Fear of rejection, right? A lot of people have fear of rejection. Like, I try to help everybody out in the industry. I'll have conversations with younger agents or even older agents about social media and door knocking and things like that. And I'm like, you got to do it. And they're like, oh, I don't like the way I look on video. I feel funny like calling people. You seem to have, and this is really the recipe for success. Like, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly.
You seem to have literally, you don't care. Yeah. Like, you have no social anxiety, nothing like that. You don't really care what people think, which is huge.
It is.
Talk about that process. Like, is that just, you know, survival? Is it, you know, where does that come from?
Yeah. So I started working when I was 12 years old. I didn't have to. My dad was here in the United States. He always provided. He's like the best. El Salvador is a tough place to live in, but he made it easier for us. We have access to education and everything, right? But I had this desire of like, I want to make money, you know? Yeah. So when I was 12, one of my uncles in El Salvador, he has like this, I don't know what you call it. He will make shoes.
Okay.
So I went to work for him. He will pay me like before. Now the dollar is the new currency in El Salvador, but before it was a different currency.
Okay.
So they call colones.
Yeah. Colones.
Yeah. So like 10 colones meant $1.
Yeah.
So I used to get paid $1 a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know,
Jesus.
yeah. And I thought it was money. Like, oh man, like $10, like $1, right? And I worked there for like a year or more. After that, I had a friend that was like, you know what, like we can make good money being clowns and going to parties. Amen.
In El Salvador.
In El Salvador. So I became a clown, like literally, dude, like makeup, wig, big shoes. Yeah, I'm serious, man. And I started working for like random parties at the beginning, and then I started working for Burger King, though. They will pay me $8 per party. $8. But the key was, and here's like where I think that selling came from. The host of the party, they will pay me $40 if I get to stay one more hour, right? So my goal was to sell myself, so they will pay me those $40 and ask me to stay like, you know, they will ask me to stay one more hour, and that was gonna be $40.
Got it.
Now I'm like 14, and it's telling me that I can get $40 for staying like an extra hour, being a clown. I'm like, yes, definitely, right? So every Saturday and Sunday, I will go to Burger King. Like Burger King in El Salvador is different. They have like this playground in the back, the restaurant, and like, you know, they make parties in there. So every Saturday and Sunday, I will go and just try to like make them pay, like make them wanted me to stay like one more hour and pay me those $40.
Yeah, you want them to have such a good time and want you to stay so
like,
bad. They're like, you know what, I'll give you $40 to stay extra.
Yeah.
How did they know that? You like Burger King tells them that from the beginning, or you tell them that?
I tell them that. That was like my part of the job. Like Burger King would just give me like $8 for like an hour.
Okay.
And then I could stay one more hour. Their party was 2 hours, right?
Got it.
So the extra hour I had to sell myself, and they wouldn't like say anything.
Got it.
So I was $40, yes.
And that's where you. I mean, that makes sense. And that's where you equate your kind of sales. That was your early sales training.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was like, I'm getting $8 for this 1 hour, but I can get 5 times that much for the second hour if I sell myself.
Yeah, yeah. And after that, you know, I know, man, it's funny. Like, but that's the thing. Like, that's why, like, if you're telling me that I can be wearing this and become even like a millionaire, dude, like, I'll do this like 24/7 if I could.
Yeah.
You know. After that, I learned English, and then I went to look for a job. Now, understand this. The way, when you learn a language in a different country, it's not the same. Like, you know, like, it was bad. But I just went there and tried to speak English and tell them, like, you know, hire me. And I was so embarrassed, but, like, you know, it was either, like, getting paid $300 a month or $600 a month.
Yeah.
So, like, I put my life in there. I was like, you know, I'm going to learn this. And that's how pretty much, like, I've seen it. Like, everything is sales in life, right?
Everything is sales. Yeah, everybody sells themselves.
Exactly.
All the time. Regardless of what you do, you're selling yourself. That's true. Regardless if you want to be in sales or not. Yeah. And people, listen, when I'm a classically trained salesman. I was trained by a gentleman who sold Electrolux vacuum cleaners door to door in the 70s and made like 80 grand a year doing it. And he was trained by, like, you know, the Zig Ziglar, Tommy Hopkins, like old school, classic style of sales. And originally when I started with him, he's like in Mako, and he was training me. I was like, I don't want to be a salesman. I had like a negative kind of impression of salespeople. And I thank God for that gentleman, because he changed my life on a lot of different levels. But essentially what sales really are, if you're an honest salesman, which everybody should be, is you're just an effective communicator. Exactly. So whatever you're selling, you believe in that product, and you believe that the benefits of that product are gonna help the client or prospective client, and you're just effectively communicating the benefits of that product. And that's helped me in relationships, in life, in business, and everything. Yeah. And it's a must.
Exactly. Yeah.
So go back to the show and the challenges. So it started out with how many people?
8.
Started out with 8 people, and essentially every day people would get eliminated until you got down to the final night, and it was just challenges along the way. Yeah. What was the toughest challenge for you?
There wasn't any tough challenges. It's just that because I didn't have real estate experience, it was hard for me at the end to like do like a listing presentation or showing a house. You know, that was the hardest, just because like, I didn't really know what to do. I just tried to like go with the flow. But there wasn't tough challenges.
But I think that's like 80% of the 80% of success. Like I always tell people, I'm like, you know, success is, let's say, 25% education and 75% guts.
Yeah.
But when the two meet together, it's a crazy recipe. But there's I know a lot of people that have a ton of education, but they don't have the guts, so nothing really happens. I know a lot more people that have the guts to do it, don't really know what they're doing, but they figure it out during the way, and things happen for them just because they're doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like I always tell people, it was like, just do it. Just start doing it.
Exactly.
Get out there, start talking to people, have conversations, and you're going to have a certain level of success, and you just learn along the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So talk about the last day. So you get the final day. It's down to you and Andrea, who was on the podcast last week, who's awesome.
Yeah.
And did you know you had it, like, the whole time? Did you know you had it?
So I had this strong feeling, like I told you, right? Like I'm all into, like, you know, manifesting things, and I had this like really strong feeling that chance was for me. You know,
from the beginning.
From the beginning,
when you first saw it.
Yeah. But here's the thing: the first day I got to, like, the first day, right? I got to the building. I saw these people with like experience, like, you know, native speakers, and I was like, man, do I really have a chance? But there was this feeling that was like, just try it. What's the worst that can happen, right? Yeah. Like, no, you know, okay, I'm not gonna die. You know, I'm still gonna do real estate, but yeah, like I just felt like that it was meant for me, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, last day it was tough. Like, I mean, Andrea's good. Andrea's good. And the thing is that at that moment, like, I was already like a little emotional, though, because the previous day was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So that day I was just like, you know, like I came to this country. I walked all these miles, like, you know, like that's it. This is me, and this is the opportunity that I'm looking for, you know, because I believe that you only need one opportunity. When you have that desire of like just making it, you just need one chance. Yeah. That's it. And for me, that was it.
So talk about the moment, because I remember, like, I'm sitting there watching. I mean, obviously I knew that you won, but when we were there at the season finale premiere party, I was watching. I was like, and they, like, the two of you guys were sitting there, and there was like a 2-minute pause, and I'm like, what are you? Yeah.
It was probably longer than that, man.
I was so long. I was like, I was like, put these people out of their misery. Like, tell. So what was that like?
Oh man, I was nervous, but I don't know. I had this feeling that it was gonna be me. So now when he told me, right, you're no longer a contestant.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what's next? Like, hey, I know there's something more. I know there's something more. Like, he kept looking at me. I was like, okay. So I was nervous, man. I was very nervous, but I don't know. It was crazy.
So how long? So now you're the winner.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Man.
Very well deserved. You're on Bryan Karp's team. Yeah. Training under him at Coach Real Estate. And you got how many weeks have you been really working with him? Because I know at the beginning you had to go get your license, and then
I think it's been 4 weeks. Pretty much.
And how many listings? So let's call it 4 weeks. And you've gotten 2 listings in the last 4 weeks.
It's 1 listing, and we have 1 listing appointment, which I don't know. I'm sure I'm gonna get it. So I don't want to like jinx it, right? But like I haven't gotten my second one, but I have this lead already.
So I want to point that out because I think that's super important. There's a lot of people that are out there that make excuses, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you came from literally like nothing.
Yeah.
Worked your way all the way up. Yeah. Took advantage of every opportunity you had. Yeah. Now you have the opportunity, and you're making the most of the opportunity. Yes. So within 4 weeks, you've essentially have 1.5. I'm going to call it 2 listings.
Yeah.
I mean, people just got to go out and do it, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, for everybody out there that's listening, you know, listening to Manny's story, I think the biggest thing to take away from you is I mean, there's a lot of things, but what I learned from you is perspective.
Yeah.
Right? It's really a matter of perspective, how you see the world, how you see the opportunities that you have, how you see where you are to where you're going to go.
Yeah.
Perspective and hard work.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to rephrase something that you said on one of your videos that I loved. You said that life is a roller coaster. You know, sometimes you're here, sometimes you're there.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's like you know, I'm not gonna. I know I'm gonna have like tough times. I'm gonna have good times. But at the end of the day, it's all about like, what do I really want? Where do I see myself? You know, like the fact that I'm having a good time right now, or that I'm having a bad time, doesn't mean that I'm not gonna like accomplish my goals, right? So like, I see myself as someone who's gonna make it regardless. So the way I see the world is like through like a good perspective. Yeah, you know,
no, it's mindset. And mindset is also very important. Like, from the moment you saw that video, you're like, I'm gonna win. Yeah. You know, and you manifested that. Yeah. You just whatever you want. Visualization is so important and so powerful in success. Like I always say that. I'm like, before I ever flipped one house, I saw the 100th house done. Yeah. You know, before I ever went to NYU, I saw myself graduating. Yeah. You know, before I ever did a first development deal, you know, I saw cities built. Like you see it. Yeah. And then it's just a matter of and everybody else is gonna be like, that's stupid. Like, I'm sure along your journey, people have been like, that's stupid. Yeah. Don't do it.
A lot of times. A lot of times. And then when they hear me talking about my dreams, they just think I'm crazy. And the only one who actually believed in me was my wife. You know, she was like, I have this feeling that you are gonna like accomplish what you want. And she and that's like, for me, that's everything, because like nobody knows what you've been through. Nobody knows what how much you want something, right? Yeah. Only you. But when someone comes and tells you like, I believe you, like, you know, I think you can do it, that means the word for me. And
yeah, sometimes, I mean, you have to be able to, you know, self-motivate and self-perform, but it's always good. Like I always say, I was blessed with amazing parents. You know, my mother would push me around the stroller when I was 6 months and call me a prince and tell me I could do everything, which is really like where the foundation of my confidence comes from. Mm-hmm. It's always helpful when you have that. Yeah. It's always helpful that you had, you know, a good family that was supportive from you from the beginning, and now you have a wife who essentially pushes you to be great. Yeah. It just it makes it's not the end all be all, like you can, but it's without someone like that, but it's helpful. It's very, very helpful.
And the other thing, like you said, is visualization, right? Yes. I have a treadmill, so like after I send the video, I will go run every day, right? And I will actually see myself knocking doors and saying like, I work for Bryan. And now I'm doing it right now. Like I go out and I'm like, sometimes I don't even say my name. I'm like, hi, I'm on the Bryan Karp team. Like, it's funny because like every day I would just like picture that, and now I'm doing it.
So talk about the experience. So now you know you're on Bryan Karp's team. Yeah. Talk about the experience of what you're learning, the training, getting those deals.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So like when I won, I also like I kind of like won 6 months of training with JB. Yeah. So I've been like talking to him, and he's just amazing though. His knowledge about real estate is out of this world.
For those of you who don't know, real estate, JB is obviously a performance coach, sales trainer. He does it across all industries, but he obviously is immersed in the real estate world. So he specializes in that. You know, brilliant guy, unbelievable training, and it's helping a ton of people. I see it.
Yeah. So he's helping me, right? Because here's the thing, like I have the desire to go there and just like kill it, right? But he's giving me the direction, right? Yeah. What do I need to say? What do I need to do? So I'm doing training with him. I'm putting like the work, you know, like right now I'm trying to prospect 3 different ways. I'm trying this like every day. I do flyers, call, and knock on doors. Like nice.
Every day.
At least sometimes I can't really like go do flyers because it's raining, but I will call.
Okay, so you prospect in what? Those are like the 3 major prospecting methods. Yeah. Like the grassroots original prospecting. That's when you're really talking to people. Yeah. And 7 days a week, you try to do at least one of the 3 of those.
Yeah. Sometimes I will do 3 of them.
So just to put in perspective here, since that's the theme of this podcast, if you're an agent, or actually if you're in any business, but obviously this is a real estate podcast, so if you're an agent, what are you doing today? What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing next week to get business? Yeah. You know, Manny has 2 listings in 4 weeks. Why does he have 2 listings? Because every day he's doing one or a combination of cold calling, flyers, and door knocking.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was thinking like, you know, like what can I do? Like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Nobody's gonna open the door. They're probably gonna like, if I go knock on their doors, they're gonna
throw something at you.
Yeah. So flyers, right? I don't need to like knock on their doors. I can just leave a flyer right there. So from 6 to 8, I leave the flyers.
What's your flyer goal? So what's your flyer goal also? I think this is also very important because I have people call me up and they're like, "Oh, I put 50 flyers out and nobody called me." It's like, bro, what is 50 flyers? 50 flyers is nothing.
Yeah.
What's your weekly flyer goal?
1,000.
1,000 flyers.
Yeah.
And listen, for the first month, 2 months, 3 months, nobody might call.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden they're gonna be like, "Yo, I saw your flyer 4 months ago. Now I'm ready to sell my house."
Yeah.
Consistency.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I call it planting seeds.
Yes.
Farming. Some people call it farming,
Yes.
right? So that's what it is. Like, I know they're not gonna call me. I mean, last time this guy, I put a flyer, right? And this guy calls me like after, like, I don't know, and he's like, "Manny, did you leave a flyer on my door?" And I'm like, "Yes, I did. Man, it's working, right?" And he's like, "I just want to tell you that next time you leave a flyer on my door, I'll blow your brains out." I'm like, okay, all right.
Wait, in English? In English or Spanish?
In English. And I was like, "Oh shit!"
You're like,
okay,
"Sir,
I'm sorry."
What's your address?
Yeah, he called me like with like no ID, no caller ID. Yeah. I was just like, "You know what? I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. I'm trying to eat, you know, trying to make a living." It was funny though. But like up to right now, the first listing that I got was through flyers. So
so you got the first listing?
Yeah, the first listing that I got was through flyers. Yeah.
And how many flyers did you put out before you got that listing?
It was like more than 800.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took all over Islandia. I did like pretty much all Islandia in 3 days. And then
you walked.
I walked, yeah.
You walked.
Got some nice tennis, like hoodie.
You walked Islandia
yeah.
for 3 days straight
and
put out 1,000 flyers.
Pretty much, yeah.
800 flyers.
800 flyers, over 800 flyers. And I've been doing the same on Brentwood.
Okay.
Trying to take over Brentwood too.
There you go.
So every morning, I just hope that they don't ban me from the printer's office. Because every day, I walk out with 500 flyers. And I just go home and because like you said, they might not call me this week or next week, but one day they're gonna be like, or at least they're gonna see my flyer, and they next time they see me, it's gonna be on a sell sign on a different house, and they're gonna be, "Oh, okay, this guy's legit, right?
Yeah,
he's making business." So, it might not be the best prospecting method, but if there's a chance, I'll take it though. So I'm doing that. Then I get home from 9:30 to 11:30, 12. I call. Yeah. Oh, I just
You cold call from what time to what time?
From 9:30 to 12, 11:30.
In the morning?
Yeah, in the morning.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And then from 4:30 to the sun goes down, I knock on doors.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So basically, let's put this in perspective here. It's a nice sunny day outside. You get up, and because I've seen the post at 5:30 in the morning. You're outside running around putting flyers out for 3 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours. You come home. You cold call for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then at night, you go out and door knock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. There's with real estate, there's always something to do. Yeah. If you're not doing something, it's because you're lazy. There's always something to do. So, I mean, that pretty much sums up the whole thing right there, bro. It's like if there are people that are out there complaining that they don't have any business and they're listening to something like this, that's what it takes. Yeah. It's that simple. And if you're not doing that and a combination of those things, then you're not going to be doing business. Yeah. And it's that freaking simple. Yeah. I'm going to call people up that are agents that I know after you leave, and I'm going to be like, "Let me tell you why you're not doing business, okay? I'm going to put this in real life world perspective so you get it." Yeah. Manny is walking around at 5 o'clock in the morning, putting out flyers, cold calling from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and then door knocking from 5 to 9 or whatever it is. Yeah. What time do you door knock? From 4:30 to till the sun goes down. Till the sun goes down. Yeah, so people's not gonna open the door anymore. And what do you do when you go to the door? You walk up to basically every door on the strip. You knock on the door, and what do you say? Hi, my name is Manny Sanchez. I'm on the Bryan Karp team of Coach Realtors. So I sold even if it's not my house, I just tell them a house just sold, a few blocks from here. Yeah, and they had a lot of offers. There's a lot of buyers trying to get into the area. Yeah. Would it be a crazy idea if you could get the right price for your home for you to sell it? Some people are like, no, not right now. Can I get back to you in the future? 6 months from now? Maybe something changed? Yeah, I'll take the phone number. Some people are like, okay, yeah, I'm thinking of selling. Would you consider an interview with me? See if I'll be able to help you in the process? Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's not that hard. It's like just like you have to put in the work. Like some people like, oh, I'm gonna make a post. You know, like call me. Nah, this real investing, buying, selling, investing. Like call me. Most of the homeowners, they're not in the phone. Like homeowners are in their house, so you have to go to their house. No,
I mean that makes perfect sense. That's as direct. I think it all plays in together, obviously, because then people. So I posted this morning, and Dan had actually talked about it on a podcast we did with Andrea. So, and this might be a relevant thing for you in this situation that could be helpful. So everybody does live on their phone for the most part. Yeah. And when people are doing due diligence on you, that's what they do. Like I've bought houses from people who are like, yo, I saw your commercial on TV. Nice. I thought you were out of your goddamn mind. I then went to your YouTube and your social media. I sat there for 2 hours watching all of your shit. I'm like, I want to sell you my house because I just think you're out of your mind. Yeah. So something that you might want to consider is how important it is to social media. Whatever you put out is perception is reality, of course. Right? So when people meet you, they're going to meet you, Manny. Okay. Oh yeah. They're going to go to your social media. They're going to go to Google, and they're going to see, who is this guy? Yeah. How much business is he doing? Do I like him as a person? And that's how you use social media as your business card or the way that people are going to do due diligence on you. Yeah. So just consider that.
Yeah, I have a lot to learn, though, when it comes to social media.
We all do. But get on all the platforms and make sure that you're doing daily posts so you have that content out there. So when people look, they say, like, if you come to a guy's door or a girl's door and they say, yeah, I might consider you. And then they go and look at your social media and they see like 2 or 3 posts, or they don't see you out there selling houses or taking pictures of houses or listing houses. They might be like, is he the guy compared to somebody else who the perception is? You might be the greatest realtor in the world, but the perception, if they don't know you. So that's why using social media I'll say, I don't want to say manipulate. I'll use manipulate for lack of a better word, to just showcase who you are and what you do and the kind of person you are is so vital. Yeah. So, and it's cool to see this stuff. Like I would love to, it would be inspiring, on top of the fact that it'd be inspiring for other people, which is cool. I would be inspired to see, like when I saw you running those flyers out, 1,000 flyers at 5:30 in the morning, I'm like, this guy's fucking running 1,000 flyers. I'm like, what am I doing today? It's inspiring to people to see you do that. Yeah. It's also educational and inspiring for people to hear you talk about the process while you're doing it. Yeah. So it would be cool to see stories and things from you while you're cold calling, while you're door knocking. Takes 15 seconds. Yeah. You door knock on someone, you like just door knocked on 15 houses, and just talk about the experience of what it is. The first one that I was riddled with anxiety, but now it just gets easier and easier. Yeah. This is what I say when I go to the door, and you might want to build a team later on. That's how people will, just know who you are and follow you. You'll get more listings as a result of that, because it's basically all about attention. The more people that know Manny Sanchez, the more listings you're going to get. Yeah. Definitely. So just consider that with social media.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm curious to know what the future holds for you. What are your ultimate goals? Obviously, your family is your number one priority. You have a daughter here and
one on the way. Yeah.
Daughter or son?
It's a girl.
It's a girl too?
Yeah.
On the way.
Yeah.
You're very young. You're 29 years old. You have a lot of life left to live. What does the future hold for you? What are your ultimate goals, really?
So the sky's the limit, Like right now, when it comes to real estate, I have a goal just to like have an idea, right? But I feel like it's gonna be more than that. Like, cause I'm gonna like I've seen other people doing it. They focus a lot on doing, and then the results come. Yeah. When you're focused, like so focused on what you have to do, and I've seen that. I mean, Bryan Karp, he talks about it. How he was just like into the game that when he came to see it was like, oh, I sold this many houses. Yeah. So when it comes to that, like I don't really have an actual goal. My goal is to like just focus on doing every day. Yeah. Because it's my first year in real estate, I'm focusing on learning a lot because I want to build like a strong foundation. And like you said, like being able to for people to know who I am and what I can offer. Because like you said, I can be like the best real estate agent in the world, but if they don't know me, if I don't put myself out there, then they're not really gonna do business with me. So I have a lot to work on right now. I'm trying to learn as much as possible. I feel blessed that JB is taking some of his time to coach me. I don't know, man. It's just
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, you can't say it any better than that, man. Sky's the limit.
yeah.
I appreciate you coming down. This is very cool. I learned a lot from you. You inspired me today to do a bunch of stuff that I'm going to do after this, both in my own business and content creating wise.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I know you're going to be great. I really do. If people are interested in following you, listing a house with you, how do they get in touch with you? What's your social media handles, etc.?
Yes, our Instagram is Manny Sells Manny Homes. It's a good one, right?
I like it. I do.
Yeah, and Manuel Sanchez on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah.
Phone number, email, anything like that?
Yeah, phone number 516-808-7969. And my email is mannysanchez0608@gmail.com.
Awesome. Obviously, I'm the Handsome Homebuyer. Again, you have anything real estate related, from notes to nasty houses to land to commercial development site. You know I'm quick. I'm easy. I'm a good time. I want to buy it. 516-77 sold. Any permit issues, you know the captain's got you back. 516-513-8838. And if you have any real estate related questions, you can always hit me up on my text platform, 516-871-3511. That's a wrap.